Charlie Polson. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa, and I guess my story kind of starts um, going back to college when I first started transitioning. It was in Ames, Iowa, which is a little bit more on the conservative side. It's mostly an agriculture school, so when I came out and started transitioning, it kind of turned heads a little bit, and but I was very open about everything from like taking testosterone to surgery, and everything else that kind of came with the whole package of transitioning. But then in that fall semester, my last year of college, we did a study abroad trip to Rome, and this was the first time that I had gone somewhere after surgery where nobody knew my past. Nobody had known that I used to be a woman. So I was a little bit worried that if I wasn't passing, then something might happen to me. But luckily, the culture is kind of where like everybody kind of keeps to themselves. My one moment where I was just kind of like, okay, I can probably live kind of stealthy was I needed a haircut. It was, I mean, it was getting long, and I looked up barbershops, and I was like, all right, getting a haircut from someone who doesn't speak English at all. This is going to be a little difficult, but I'm willing to figure it out. And I was walking around and like turned a corner, and there was this little hole in the wall like store, and it looked really cool on the outside, and I looked in a little bit further and I realized it was a barber shop, but it was like a barber shop that like hadn't been touched like since it opened, probably like in the 20s or something. This little tiny old man with like white hair just like comes shuffling out from behind the curtain, and I just slaughtered all Italian skills that I had at that point, and I asked him for a haircut. And I had brought in a picture of like how I wanted it cut, because I figured, that would probably be the easiest way to go about that. But at the same time, I mean, I was nervous because I was getting a haircut in a foreign country in a language that I wasn't comfortable speaking fluently, and B, barbershops are kind of like almost like a rite of passage for any kind of like masculinity in general speaking. I was sitting in there, and on top of that, I was kind of worried, like, oh, like, I mean, is he gonna figure me out? Like, what am I gonna do? But it just kind of like, everything was totally fine. Like, I didn't have anything to worry about. It's like the funny little things that like guys do between each other. Like, for example, like if you don't know a guy and you are crossing paths with him, like you nod downwards, but if you do know someone, like you nod upwards. Like, it's just little tiny like unspoken things like that. And like when he was cutting my hair, it was very like a very unspoken, like, don't worry, I've got you, I'm gonna cut your hair, like make you feel better, like you're good to go, like that sort of thing. That trip to Rome was like an entire turning point. It was definitely, kind of like an interlude between two different books or something. It was kind of like a taste of what my life could be like. It could be something where I have more time to focus on design and, things that I really enjoy doing, and I don't have to worry about, do I need to tell anybody that I'm trans? Do I need to like out myself? Do I need to, that sort of thing. I think this story is important to share because not very many people have conversations about transitioning past surgery. Like, they kind of see surgery as like the end all, to every single like transitioning problem, but that's really, not the case at all. Like, past surgery, okay, like great, that's done, but like, how do you navigate the world past transitioning? You finally like have been on like testosterone or hormones long enough that you can navigate like your own emotions. But for example, when I first started taking testosterone, when I was getting the prescription from my doctor, he was going through a list of all things that could possibly happen, and you have to like legally sign off on every single one. And he suggested going to therapy the entire time that I'm on testosterone. And he's super sweet. He looked at me and he was like, you know, I don't think you personally need therapy. It's not your fault, it's society's fault. And, you know, it's kind of like, okay, how do I navigate that? So it's good to, you know, keep talking about things past top surgery.